मैं ले लूँ ऐसे और इसको हाथ में बंद करने वाले लाल बटन दे
Revival Charitable Trust, a world Buddhist mission that is started by followers of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. I'm going to talk about the revival of Dhamma that Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar brought in India. The title of my paper is Marching Towards Dhamma that Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar envisioned. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar propounded a theory on the origin of untouchables in his research. Untouchables, who were they and how they became untouchables. The theory states that original inhabitants of Indus civilization became victims of Varna system of the uncivilized Aryan invaders. The original inhabitants fought a long battle against the uncivilized Aryan invaders. The defeat of these mighty people resulted in their lower status, and they were further declared as untouchables in later centuries. The Buddha emerged as a ray of hope in the lives of thousands of oppressed people when he strongly opposed the unequal status of human beings. For the cause of humanity, Buddha relentlessly preached the principles of justice, equality, liberty, and fraternity. India became a Buddhist country as the Buddha turned the wheel of Dhamma in 6th century BC. Later, taking on to Buddha's footsteps, the great Buddhist emperor Ashoka propagated Buddhism to the whole South Asia in a systematic and scientific manner. The great emperor sent his offspring Sanghamitra and Mahindra to spread the teachings of Buddha to emancipate the millions of suffering masses of other nations. However, in later centuries, Buddhism underwent a great downfall. The first most wave of downfall came with the counter-revolution of Pushyamitra Shunga, the Brahmin commander-in-chief of the Mauryan Empire. Pushyamitra Shunga was the first one in the history of India to systematically counter-revolt against Buddhism, who killed last Mauryan Empire descendant. However, the counter-revolution had begun long before Pushyamitra Shunga's aggressive genocide of Buddhist monks and destruction of Buddhist culture. In the time of the King Ashoka, entry to the people of Brahminical faith in the Sangha gave an emergence to this counter-revolution. Pushyamitra Shunga seized the throne and established Brahminism as the religion of the state. In later centuries, other invaders brought about major destructions to Buddhism. In most recent history, the counter-revolution of Shankaracharya made Buddhism foreign to its own land. These series of ongoing counter-revolutions caused genocide of Buddhist monks, destruction of Buddhist people, and annihilation of their humanitarian culture. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar has thus said, the history of India is the history of cultural war between Buddhism and Brahminism. Buddhism declined and almost disappeared from India due to these systematic counter-revolutions until Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar revived the Dhamma in 1956 by embracing Buddhism along with 500,000 untouchables of modern India. This great conversion is greater revolution than the revolutions of modern world, such as French, Russian, and American, etc. These revolutions were primarily against economic slavery. However, the nature of the slavery of untouchables was social, economic, cultural, political, religious, psychological, and spiritual, which deprived them of their overall development. Embracing Buddhism, therefore, was not only an issue of leaving the hell of caste and Hinduism, but also it meant to reclaim the respectful identity and open up the venues for overall development for the reconstruction of one based on Buddhist principles. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, in his historic speech, Buddha or Karl Marx, emphasized that Buddha's teaching is the path that guides the reconstruction of the world. According to him, Buddhism is the only religion that humankind can have if the human society wishes to live in a peaceful world. In Buddha and Future of His Religion, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar prominently argued that modern society needs religion much more than the primitive society did. In this essay, he scrutinizes Buddhism vis-a-vis Hinduism, Christianity and Islam, the major religions in the modern world. For him, Dhamma means morality and morality means Dhamma. His scrutiny of the three religions is primarily based on this fundamental parameter. The second fundamental parameter is that the religion must relate to the facts of life and not to the theories and speculations of God or earth or heaven or soul. Buddhism is the only religion that lives up to these standards. He considered Buddhism to be the best religion because there are no concepts of God, messenger of God, or son of the God, which are there in other three religions. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar further emphasized on the teachings of Buddha. Buddha taught as part of his religion social freedom, intellectual freedom, economic freedom, and political freedom. He taught equality not between man and man only, but between man and woman. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar stated that it would be difficult to find a religious teacher to compare with Buddha, whose teachings embrace so many aspects of the social life of people, whose doctrines are so modern, and with main concern to give nibbana to man in his life on earth, and not to promise it in heaven after his death. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, in conclusion of Buddha and future of his religion, writes how ideas of spreading Buddhism could be realized. In his opinion, three steps appear to be of great importance. Those are, first one, to produce a Buddhist gospel. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar himself accomplished this step by writing Buddha in his Dhamma. The need in modern world today is to widespread Buddha and his Dhamma as Buddhist gospel, taking on to Babasaheb's footsteps. Buddhist Revival Charitable Trust that I represent now marches towards fulfilling these three steps. The second step is to make changes in the organization, aims and objects of the Bhikkhu Sangha. BRCT, Buddhist Revival Charitable Trust, is heading towards fulfilling this very important goal by aiming to regenerate the Bhikkhu Sangha in India. BRCT also envisions an organized masses of Upasaka and Upasika. BRCT therefore is establishing training centers for Dhamma training of Upasaka and Upasika. To realize this step, BRCT is establishing international networks of Buddhist world. Through world conferences, BRCT develops dialogue with Buddhist world to form a world Buddhist mission. Upcoming activities of BRCT are to organize a conference of Buddhist ambassadors from Buddhist countries across the globe, to organize international conferences with the representatives of Buddhist nations to strengthen the cultural ties. The utmost important goal of BRCT is in upcoming year is to organize 7th Dhamma Sangiti in India, to institute Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar's International Peace Award through United Nations, to develop Buddhist cultural heritage such as caves, monuments and ancient viharas, especially Nalasopara Ancient Vihara in Maharashtra, to publicize and promote the practice of Dhamma Yutika, Nikaya and forest monks who emphasize on meditation and mind purification as demonstrated by Guruji Aryavamso, to work with the Mahabodhi Society in India to pursue the aspirations of Anagarika Dhammapala of Sri Lanka, to promote the practice and understanding of Vipassana meditation in cooperation with Guruji Goenkas and Guruji Aryavamso's networks, to set up unified centers for Thai Buddhists in Maharashtra and in other Indian states with a view to promote Buddhism in collective and efficient manner. Finally, we appeal the Buddhist world to come together to spread the Buddhist values for establishing righteousness in the globe. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.